raised concerns with the move by the governor to impeach his deputy, and that's the matter in court now. What do you make of that move by the governor, taking the matters to the courts? Because it seems that this is not sitting right with some persons, although Mr. Shaibu has come out to say that he is loyal to the governor, and that whatever is going on is a matter, or is just, the governor is just a victim of political jobbers, and that he has pledged his loyalty to the governor. But this case in court, what are your interpretation of it? Is the governor too hasty making that move?
First of all, the deputy governor was wrong to say he was loyal to the governor. You don't need to be loyal to a governor. You have to be loyal to the Constitution, which defines your function. But you must show solidarity and cooperation with your principal. Because this idea of loyalty to the governor is what is making things go wrong. Democratic governments are governed by Constitution, and the provisions are expressly stated without any let or hindrance. So the deputy governor must show solidarity and cooperation so that together they can perform the functions vested in them, by the Constitution and by the mandates they were given in the state. Now, if Obaseki wants to impeach Philip Shaibu, I will please plead that that should happen this morning, if it's possible this morning. Now. I don't need to pretend about this. Philip Shaibu misfired completely because his relationship with Adams Oshomole was so fundamental, such that it should have been, a springboard for people to emulate how to be loyal, or how to show cooperation, how to show solidarity and support for a man who has been your benefactor even before you became a political figure. Now, if he has committed impeachable offense, which I'm sure he must have committed, in fact, even the Edo Assembly and refusal to swear in those 14 persons, it's enough impeachable offense. He should be impeached. Then, conversely, Obaseki should also be impeached. The two of them should just go. You see, there will be a breather kind of scenario if the two of them exit the political platform of Edo State. People will breathe well, people will be happy. You will see people celebrate and jubilate. Because there's too much of deceit. There's too much of pretense. And leadership that is built on pretense and deceit cannot last. Even if it lasts, it will leave sorry tales along his path. So, for me, neither Obaseki nor Philip Shaibu is somebody that is somebody I will cultivate or I will celebrate. No. Because in my holy books, I'm a Muslim. In Quran, you have to be grateful to those who were grateful to you. You have to show gratitude. And that word gratitude has no adjunct, it has no preface, it has no suffix. Gratitude is gratitude. It's as constant as a northern star. And so for them to have shown the kind of behavior they showed, leaving bad indices, character indices for those who are supposed to be emulating them, is for me impeachable offense. So,
okay. The 2024 election is still next year. So, but then we know how it is when it comes to election in this part of the world, how we begin to prepare a year before, ahead of that. But that's the crux of the matter now, how this is causing the distraction for the deputy governor as well as the governor towards delivering on their mandate to the people.
As it is, there has been a lot of distractions already, as it is right now, because recall that the governor, when he was campaigning to come in, talked about creating 200,000 jobs for youth, talked about transforming Edo State, for good when it comes to industrialization. He talked about all of those things, and then even infrastructure. Recall that under Governor Oshomole, Governor Obaseki now was under his economic team at the time. So he understood what the vision was under Adams Oshomole for the state at the time. So his campaigns at that time was to take the state to another level of development, keeping that template. Of course, if he was going to change the template, of course, one expects that if you have a template, and you're working with and you need to change it, everybody would expect that you change it for something better, because that is how dynamic leadership and change should be. You know, so all of this, it is what the residents of Edo State are feeling, that is what matters. Politics will always be politics.
Absolutely.
Right? So the infighting is politics. But the moment it begins to distract governance and begins to take away the attention of government from the people who should originally have the attention, then it becomes the issue.
Right.
And I believe that's part of what Kazim is saying.
Right. Kazim, let's come back to you now with regards to how this thing is, this rift is constituting a distraction. One of the leaders of the party in the state, talking about the PDP, was reported to have said that the matter was that they had spoken to Philip Shaibu that he should hold off on preparations or campaigns towards the 2024 election and focus on governance for now, because it could constitute a distraction for him. But he had put together a campaign team ahead of the 2024 election. I am wondering how all of these issues could lead to, all right, the processes we are seeing in court, and how it's also constituting a distraction to he delivering on the dividends of democracy for the people of the state.
Well, the point must be made that the court's injunction, or whether order, was presumptive, because the act has not been committed or the process has not even commenced. So rushing to court to obtain an order or an injunction was for me preposterous. Secondly, whether setting up a campaign structure that will midwife his campaign or otherwise does not make meaning to me, because when there was no campaign, they didn't perform. So even if the campaign will make room for some empowerment of the youths in the process of building structure, then so be it. Whether they are campaigning, they are not campaigning, there is no performance. Local government administration in Edo State has been crippled for the past 7 years. Local government can't even pay salaries in Edo State, and I challenge them to come and show us the score sheet or the balance sheet. The finances of local governments are under the purview of the state government. It's so ridiculous. They keep complaining the appointed local government chairman before the elected ones' tenure finished. The appointed ones couldn't even do anything. You can't point a finger at anything that have been carried out or that is being carried out by the local government chairman. Every local government, like in my local government, no chairman can tell me this is what he or she has done. He uses civil servants to preside over the state so that they will naturally be cautious or fearful of the governor in doing things. When allocation comes, they take about 80% of it and give 20% to the local government to pay negotiated wages, maybe 50% of the wages and all of that. Is that governance? Is that performance? So Edo State is being in the news for the wrong reasons, and even the leadership atrophy occasioned by these two gentlemen is quite alarming. And so, for me, impeachment or no impeachment, campaign or no campaign is not my business. What is my business is for the Edo State to be in the news for the right reasons. And the right reason meaning that the two of them should behave responsibly as people who are enjoying the mandate of the people as elected governor and deputy governor of the state. If they show that kind of character, such kind of responsibility, people will appreciate them. But you are receiving resources, you are receiving money, you are not performing, you are not working. You are telling me that you are putting signboard. The money you are using to put signboard on the roads, saying this is federal government and all that, can lift a family of 5 or 10 out of poverty. You are not doing any of this, and you are telling me that you are performing, What are you doing? Education in Edo State is almost in shambles. And I say this with all sense of responsibility because it's a state that I'm so conversant with. I go home all the time. I said it before maybe on this platform that the secondary schools in my village, they are at the state that Comrade Adams Oshomole left them. In fact, they have been further vandalized. Only last month, we caught about 4 persons who are coming to vandalize those schools. And can I tell you something interesting? The 4 secondary schools in my community, the one that has the number of staff, teaching staff they have are not more than 8. Well, one has 3, another secondary school has 1, another one has 2, then the last one has 2. I think, yeah, they're about 2, 2, 1, and 3. That's 8. 8 teaching staff in Okpola. We normally augment with corps members who come to do service. The community will have to hire them and share them among schools. They will pay a certain amount to redeem their monthly commitment. And so that is a school that is shouting about Edo Best. You see it all over the place, taking money grants from World Bank and all that and shouting Edo Best. Oh, we have bought tablets for students and teachers. Teaching is now going on seamlessly and all of that. Who is deceiving who? Are we not living in Edo? Are we not conscious of what is happening around us? You see, if you are performing, it would have been a different thing. Edo State is so backward now under Governor Godwin Obaseki that I was wondering whether this is part of the special advisor on economic matters to Adams Oshomole, where Adams Oshomole presided over the state for 8 years. The Red Roof Revolution have suddenly disappeared. We can't see the Red Roof Revolution. With the teachers, they tell you that they hire. You can't see them. You can't see them. It's so painful.
Right. All right. As it is in the last general election, we saw how the part of the infighting within a party like PDP, for instance, led to, it cost them the election or dealt a very serious blow to them at the polls. Now, we have, if we like narrowing it down to Edo State, there's infighting now between the deputy governor and the governor who are supposed to be working together one way or the other. Now, the other political parties are sitting and watching and seeing what's going on. How will this, from your perspective, I know you have said it before that you would like the crisis to even continue or even go deeper, but how is this playing into the hands of waiting political party like the APC or even the Labour Party, as the case may be, at the elections in Edo State?
Well, what happened in 2023 election in Edo State is a confirmation of the non-acceptance of the leadership of the PDP governor, in this case, Godwin Obaseki. Because even in his own senatorial district, the Labour Party produced a senator representing a PDP governor. Even his local government, Oredo, is all Labour Party. He lost woefully, and it is because of the kind of lukewarm attitude towards governance and underperformance of his administration. Edo Central, the APC has gotten an inroad. There's a senator representing Edo Central Senatorial District under the platform of APC. Edo North, of course, Adams Oshomole, he will win election any day in Edo State because he did so well when he was in government, and he connects with the people at the grassroots. So you must give him that credit that he's a people's man. And so we have 2 senators as APC, 1 Labour. PDP had none. Among the House of Reps, I think PDP has 2, and the 7 others are shared between APC and Labour. And so that's to tell you the level of political decadence, in the state under the leadership of PDP. Even within the PDP, there's a serious crisis. We have one group called the PDP Legacy Group, which are the aborigines, original owners of PDP who have been PDP for years, and the new PDP under Governor Obaseki and Philip Shaibu. So the 2 of them are presiding over the new PDP The vice chairman of the PDP in the South-South zone, Dan Obi, is the one trying to manage the legacy PDP and trying to ensure that the party still remains intact. But when it comes to election, they will normally share their political fortunes. And so, a Governor Obaseki, as it were now, cannot produce a successor from his party. A successor will have to emerge from the APC in Edo, because the people have seen comparison between him under PDP now and Adams Oshomole under APC. Life was good for the people in Edo State. People were happy. That's why when Adams Oshomole still visits the state, you see celebration, you see jubilation amongst the ordinary folks out there, because he connected with the people. And so you can imagine a senatorial candidate in Edo North scoring 107,000 votes in the senatorial election. That is almost more than 60% of the total votes that returned Obaseki as a governor in 2020. And so the level of acceptance of the opposition now is high because of the misbehavior of the first two citizens of Edo State. And so the more the crisis continues, trying to flex muscles or ego, you know, both of them are egocentric, and so they like to flaunt their egos. Oh, I'm the governor of the state, I'm the leader of the party. If you're not comfortable with this party, get out. That is the way. That is not the way to go. In this contemporary age, you must use language of moral persuasion, and in trying to convey your messages to the people. You don't have to show that. You don't need to be reminded, or you don't need to remind the people that you are the governor and that you are the leader. Leadership is earned by your conduct. You know, the day a tiger tells you that, oh, I'm a tiger, then he's no longer a tiger. They say a tiger does not need to profess his tigritude. It has to show in his conduct that he's a tiger. And so when the governors keep saying that, oh, I'm the leader of the party, nobody can torpedo my powers or usurp my powers and all of that. If you are trying to do that, I will show you the exit door and all that. This is a man who came newly to the PDP, as it were, then. So there are so many issues, and they can't continue to paper them. That's why the issues are coming up now. And I'm just praying that the issues continue, you know, to saturate the political landscape of Edo, so that the two of them can be shown the exit door.
Right. And speaking to the matter of what you just mentioned, talking about the governor's approach to this issue and his choice of words, he using a word like a coup, and that his deputy is desperate to take power. There are some who are saying perhaps there's something that the governor is afraid of, because there has been talks about how Philip Shaibu wields a level of influence. He is even being touted as the most influential deputy governor in the country, so to speak, and he has even received awards with regards to that and the things that he has done. But do you think that there is something the governor is really concerned about that he's not voicing out, so to speak, that he's making these statements?
Well, I think, you know, when you see, people who always believe in politics, that when you see a cockroach dancing in front of the people, or you see a toad trying to gesticulate in front of the people, somebody or somewhere must be beating drum for it. But in this case, we have a bad scenario on our hands. Bad scenario because these two first citizens of Edo State behave alike, you know, and so it's just a matter of time before their true character began to show. And I have said it repeatedly time and time again, that the moment you think that you have power and you have money and that you can decree everything into existence, you can demolish people's houses, you can trample on people's rights here and there, then there will be some day that you won't be able to succeed with your intention. So Philip Shaibu, as far as I'm concerned, played school politics. Comrade Adams Oshomole facilitated his emergence as member of House of Assembly on 2 occasions. They are from the same local government, in fact, the same ward and all that. So he became a member of House of Assembly on 2 occasions. He was even a majority leader of the House. That's 8 years. He went to the House of Reps, spent 1 year plus. He was pulled back to come and assume this position of deputy governorship. And so he has enjoyed the benevolence of Adams Oshomole so much than those of us who have even been championing Oshomole's cause over the years. And so if it is now time for him to be given a bite of his indecent behavior, I think it's a welcome development. And Obaseki, as a governor, has tried to learn the ropes because they call them technocrats. But technocrats must always try to marry their understanding of the economy with the political economy, with the politics of the state. I keep saying that you must balance your governance structure with the political structure. If you don't balance the 2 of them, there will be a level of distraction that will take you off your radar in trying to deliver services, to the people. And so, Obaseki is suddenly realizing that next year there has to be an election that will produce a successor. Now he's already having a problem with his deputy. Whether you like it or not, that will take away a little bit of shine from the kind of solidarity that would have been expected to confront the election for next year. And so that's why I tell you that it is good riddance to bad rubbish if anything happens, to the 2 of them, because they are just getting a feel of how indecently they have behaved to those who facilitated their emergence as governor and deputy governor in time past. So whether Philip is of any influence, whether Obaseki is of any influence, by next year we'll meet right at the political field, where people will people, very enlightened people, very conscientized people, very mobilized people will line up to vote for the successor of Obaseki. But certainly I know PDP won't make it.
All right, as it is, like it is said in politics sometime, that even 1 hour can be so much, a day so much, and so long in some instances, depending on the context to which it is used. What are the chances that there could be a reconciliation between the 2 of them from the national leadership of the party? What are you seeing?
The PDP at the national level is also in comatose. So that means, I keep telling you that it's a matter of, is a theory of contradiction. When 2 negative integers are competing, you can't get something positive will come out of it, but from a different angle, a thought force, so to speak, if you permit my use of that word. You see, the point is, PDP at the national office is in crisis. You have the Wiki angle to the national crisis. You have the Atiku angle to the national crisis. And so, who is going to be the one that will come out to say they want to resolve another crisis in one of the states controlled by PDP? So you can't get anything like reconciliation. You can get papering the issue. People can paper the issue, pretend that all is well. But once this issue had come out now, you can't get any stability in the party structure in the states. And even the state chairman is a low ranger. The executive of the PDP in the state, 95% of them are with the PDP legacy group, the original owners. Only the chairman, Afegbua, that is operating alone. He's operating with the governor and the deputy before now. So if you say call a meeting of state executive council of PDP, they won't see 3 people. That's just the truth, because they came with the intention to usurp the powers and the functions and the structure of the party. If they had come in peace, the way the PDP accepted them in when they were being beaten by APC reign, and they came into the PDP with some level of sobriety of mind and intention, then the party would have accepted them hook, line, and sinker. But the governor came the very first day and pronounced himself a leader, a position that is not guaranteed under the PDP constitution. And so that on its own threw up a lot of permutations. They threw up a lot of misgivings because the executive of the party were voted for, just the same way the governor was voted for, to run a 4-year course. And so trying to usurp their power and their functions because you are the governor of the state would naturally breed its own crisis. So that has been the position of PDP in Edo. And so now that it's playing out in public, some of us have already predicted this, and I'm happy that it's happening this way, but I want them to hasten the process so that we can have some respite at the end of the day.
All right. We'll have to leave the conversation here now. Kazim Afegbua, media consultant and member of the All Progressives Congress. Thank you for your time on the program.
Thank you very much.
Discover Lipton's flavorful and balanced taste. We pick fine quality tea leaves from selected tea gardens around the world.